People, I was sitting at home today, just relaxing. Then I started looking at my timeline on Twitter, and I noticed Jackson State's popping up a lot more. But the question I have is not about Jackson State popping up a lot more. The question I have about, are they still box office? What I mean when I say that, in my Stephen A. Smith voice, Jackson State used to be able to just show up the name and the title, and everybody wanted to see. You call it the Prime effect you want to. Even after Prime was gone, it was still Jackson State over everything. Oh, how they say it? Jackson State versus the world, right? But now, it seems like there's something changing. HBCU world is more open, more accessible. A lot of people have followed the template for Jackson State. But Jackson State still has the biggest online presence of any HBCU, bigger than some FBS schools. The online presence is so great. People, just because they're bored, will mention Jackson State and then get thousands of responses. The JSU online community is known for being fierce. But does that translate into viewership for games? This year, with the Orange Blossom Classic being FAMU had won, it was all information about how the lack of television stations in Florida lowered the viewership. The viewership was drawn by Jackson State fans, which gave it, I think it was 700,000 views. But the Jackson State still carried that weight. After a year of being out of the spotlight, watching FAMU versus Howard in the Celebration Bowl, watching FAMU actually get the W in Celebration Bowl, losing games that they should not have lost to Alabama State, close games to Alabama A&M, blowout game versus Texas State, but they should have won that damn game. I stand on that. Is Jackson State going to be able to pull back this year? Now, I'm not going to show you any kind of damn highlights and say, well, I should have did this, did that. That's above my pay grade. Other coaches up there that get paid for these schools make that decision. I'm not going to say one player is crap, one player shouldn't do this and that. I was a PWO. I didn't get a scholarship offer. These kids are. So I think they're a little bit better than I was when I was playing. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. But the fans, this is the thing that I can talk about. Jackson State still had the biggest fan base, still had the biggest attendance of any FCS school. Bigger than a lot of the FBS schools. But, it has dropped significantly for the year prior. You can say it because of a recession going on. You can say it because we're losing benefits. We're losing lots of money coming in to the universities. You can say that, yes. One thing you can't say is Jackson State has forgotten how to support their team. They still online show up and support the university. Fundraisers. We seen on Ken Clark's show, one of the young men had a problem with a house. I'm not sure what happened. They raised money for it. We saw them raise money for Mrs. Reed on the show. So the community is there. But the question that makes it box office is not who they already have, it's the people who are outside looking in. Can Jackson State still pull in those outside fans? The fans who are not affiliated, the Southern Mississippis, the South Alabamas, the Texas Southern, those fans who are still fans of football, but not a fan or a alumni of your university. If Jackson State can find a way to keep bringing those outside fans in, even though 5% of the people who are at Jackson State don't want those outside fans in, if they can keep bringing them in, they can keep being the linchpin and the box office attraction for the HBCU football season. It's Coach Simmons. I'm out, man.